Hi, and welcome to the Thankful Palette. I'm Tracy Herbner, and today we're going to be doing some palette knife flowers just in time for Valentine's Day. You can see this is about what we're going to be doing, and I'm just going to be using my mixed media pad. This is a great way to practice and just do some designs inexpensively. So I'm just going to tilt you down so you can see what we're doing. Oops, sorry about that. Okay. We want to make sure that we have you positioned the right way, so. All right, so there we go. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is start with some, I started with some toasted marshmallow, and first I'm going to do my base on the bottom, my vase. So we're going to do it like so. And there's no right or wrong. I'm just going to make a cylinder shape, and I'm using palette knives for this. And these are just cheap plastic palette knives. You get a pack of them, very inexpensive at Michael's or Walmart or Hobby Lobby or Amazon. You could get metal ones as well. Just whatever you have will be fine. Doing this and filling in. Don't worry about being perfectly. That's what makes using a palette knife fun, because it's not, doesn't have to be as tight as when you're using a paintbrush. And we could clean up edges at the end, so don't worry about that as well. All right, so there's the first color, and when you do this, you're going to want to keep a lot of paper towels on hand, because you're going to just be, you could wipe your palette knife a little bit. So now I'm going to go back in, I'm going to put in some suede over top of that for some contrast. And again, using the same palette knife, just going over top of it, putting some lines in it. You could let this dry if you wanted to, but I kind of like the way it looks when you don't let it dry. Again, there's no right or wrong way. You can make your vase more of a square if you wanted to, or a circle. I was inspired by a painting, a picture that I saw at a store with a tall cylinder type vase, so that's why I'm using this. All right. Okay, so then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do our background, and I'm going to use a bigger palette knife for my background, just to cover more ground. And I'm going to use a robin's egg blue. And again, no right or wrong, it's just what colors you like. And all I'm going to do is go in, and I'm going to go all over, and my flowers will go on top of the background, so I don't have to worry about if some of the background shows through. And that little oops there from before, I don't need to worry about. And you want it to kind of look textured. That's what makes it kind of unique. Using, if you could see, I have the paint on the bottom of the palette knife, and I'm just going like this. to get the edges, I'm just gonna fix up my line there. Turn it around, do this side. And I'm kind of just, if you could see, I'm just doing it on an angle. And that's what's putting the paint on the paper. You could do this on a canvas or any other surface. I just thought it would be fun to show you this just in my mixed media pad. This is kind of where I come up with some of my designs and practice, or just paint. If you don't have access to a canvas, this might be a little bit cheaper solution for you. So, and again, you can get these on Amazon, fairly inexpensive. Okay. Oops, sorry. Got the camera moved there. One of these days I want to get this camera angle perfect, sorry. Okay. So then what I'm going to do is just wipe this off again. And I won't be using that one probably anymore. And then I'm going to come back in and I'm going to go on top. I'm going to add to the background, but for right now, I am just going to start our flowers. And I think for this one, I'm going to try some burgundy. And just putting a plop on my palette. And all you're gonna do is, and there's no right or wrong, you can put as many flowers as you want. On the sample, I used an odd number, and that's probably what I'll do here as well. And I'm just gonna start here, and I'm just going like in a circle, and you want the paint to be kind of thick on there, where your background is gonna go through. And don't be worried if you don't get all of the background covered, because we're going to go in with a couple of colors. So, and all I'm doing is, and the circles, you don't want the circles perfect because of course the flower edges are not perfect too. So you want that, you want to mimic that. There's one, and let's see. Okay, and we're gonna make another one, and this time I'll make a little bit smaller one, and I'm just making almost like commas around. Don't be afraid to turn your work. If you have any questions as you're watching this, feel free to put some questions in the comments. I will try to answer them as I go, or come back in and answer them if you have any later. And I'm going to stop on that color for right now, and then I'm going to go in with a, let's do a red, or not a red, this pink color. Just gonna get some more of my paint off there before I wipe it. And let's go in and make a pretty big pink one. You could do this with different shapes and stuff. And just for this piece, I wanted to do the circles. That was the same flower shape as the one I saw in a store. So I wanted to kind of mimic what I saw. A few twists on there. Okay. All right, I'm gonna do another small one, and I'm gonna do this one here. Just because I don't like the way it looks with even, I'm going to do one more, and I think I'm going to do a pink, stick with the same color, just do a small one right here. almost as if it's behind there. So then what I'm going to do is we're going to add some leaves. So I'm going to get some dark green while that stuff is setting up a little bit before I put another layer on top of there. And how I like to do leaves is very simply just start at the bottom with some pressure and pull up. And there's no right or wrong shape. That's just the shape that I prefer. And just kind of use your palette knife and wiggle them in there. Just add some green in the background as if the flower's coming in there. All right. And I'm going to just randomly put them. And again, we're going to layer this with other colors. And let's see. I like this because it's not a perfect, it's kind of messy, which is kind of me. When it comes to painting, I usually wear it, so that's why I kind of like the way this is. And then I'm not too happy with right there, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back in there and I'm going to put another flower in there. And again, that's the joy of this, like as you're looking, you could see, I need something else. And I think what I'm going to do is put one light pink in there, or it's called pink chiffon. Kind of break it up. And you see how I came through with my green. I'm not too worried about that because when I put the next layer on, we'll cover that up a little bit. All right. I just wiped the green off. And I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna kind of go on top of this just to fill this space. And don't worry if the other colors kind of blend through because that's just gonna make it look layered. And the downfall of using this mixed media, not really a downfall, is that the paper tends to crinkle. So you just, you deal with it. More happy with that now. Make sure you can see that a little bit better. Okay, and I'm going to just add a little bit more green in for leaves. And since we have this little oops there, we're just going to go with it. So now what we're going to do is kind of layer back on, and I'm sorry, I didn't realize I had you upside down. There we go. I should flip it around. I apologize for that. We're going to add some colors now to our flowers. So basically what I'm going to do is in the dark blue, or yeah, the burgundy, I'm going to go back in probably with some, let's do some whites. A white in there. Basically all I'm going to do here is add some color in there. And all I'm doing is you could see, just making circles in there. And I almost forgot, before I do that, let's put our black in the center. Just tapping it in there. The center of each flower. And obviously the bigger the flower, the bigger the center. And when you're doing this, you want to make sure you stay on a flat surface. And the reason being is your paint could run when you're doing this. So that's important. Okay. All right, so there's all the centers. So now I'm going to go back in and finish layering the flowers. So we'll just go in here, do some white in here. Like that. And as you're doing this, it's good to step back. Sometimes when I'm doing them, I walk away just to get a better angle. It kind of helps because I'm actually looking at it on the screen. But if you could take a picture or walk away, it'll help. So let's layer the middle pink color with some red. And how much is up to you. It's really, this is about just layering. Kind of going on an angle there. Just need a little bit more of that for this last flower. And then for the leaves, I'm going to go in with some yellow. Again, just a little bit, just to add to some dimension. Okay. And then I'm going to go back and I'm going to do some of the outline here and see what else we could add. All right, and for that one I'm going to use the palette knife that we had used at the beginning for the background. And in the background I'm going to go back in with like a vanilla. And just going to come in. And again, you're just probably put a little too much paint there, so we'll show you how to fix that up. Okay, so there, I'm not too thrilled with the way that looks, which is fine because all I gotta do is put some more of the background color on, and which was the Robin's Eggs blue, and go over it, and it'll kind of had a heavy hand there. And again, that'll fix any boo-boos. Or as Bob Ross says, happy mistakes. So it's kind of going to be heavy there because I had some red splash there. Alright, so something. Let's see. A little bit more of our robin's egg there. You kind of just do this till you're happy with the way it looks. Again, there's no right or wrong. And if you mess it up, well, you just start over again. The important thing is that you just try. All right, so I'm looking at my thing here. I want to add some, I'm going to add some white in there, I think. I don't want it to look so perfect. So I use my smaller brush or palette knife for that. And don't be afraid, like I said, to move your palette around. Down. I could come back and with my color I started. So there you have it. Our palette knife flower bouquet. I hope you enjoyed this. Make sure that you like the page so you get you see what else we're going to be painting. I have some a door hanger that I'm working on for our next live, so you want to make sure you pay attention to that, and feel free to sprinkle this video with your friends. I look forward to painting with you again next time. Until then, have a great day.